Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here, and I'm going to be showing you my first replay of many for a new Rome Total War series I call Clan Battles. And these will be videos submitted by clan players. Now, I'm still going to cover, videos from other players, but if they're not, both clan players, then I'm not going to call it Clan Battles, but I will still do everything regardless. I'm not going to show every replay I get, but I will show replays when I can. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the armies when the battle starts. We're going to look at this player, Astro-Cheetah, as he sets up his army, and you can see what kind of deployment he's going for. Now, this is a 15,000 denarii CWB battle, which stands for Clan Warbelt. And these are always played on normal scale, and almost always on the grassy flatlands, because it's the most fair map you could possibly get. So this guy, Cheetah, we'll call him Cheetah from now on, has chosen Scythia, which is a very good CWB faction. So once the battle starts, I'm going to pause it and look at both armies. Usually I would not pause it, I don't want to break up the flow of a replay, but since army composition is important in a clan battle, and any kind of CWB battle, then I will show the armies. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact compositions. I'm not going to know the exact upgrades, but I can at least show you the mini flags by them. So that should help you guys out just a little bit. Now, yeah, in these CWB battles, you do want to spread your guys out in loose formation. You do want to win the skirmish phase. That is trading missile fire with your opponent, charging in with your cav when you can, and try to take out the enemy's cav with your archers, or with the enemy's archers with your cav, and whatnot. So let's go pause this replay here, and let's take the time to look at the army compositions here. So for Scythia, let's see what he got. This is a Cheetah. I've never heard of Astro before. That must be a new thing. So he is probably going to max out on the archer count, which would be 8 max archers, and you can have a total of the 6 of the same unit slot. So you can have 6 regular archers, the 6 archer warbands, and possibly 2 chosen archers, but let's go look at the composition here. You can do 4 chosen archer warbands and 4 archer warbands as well. That's what you can do for the 8 unit max. So let's get to it. Chosen archer warband upgrades. He has 3 upgrades on those. Archer warbands. He has 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6. 6 archer warbands and 2 chosen archer warbands. They're in the front, and then the elite archers are on the extreme wings of this deployment. Then we get the Scythian horse archers. Now for horse archers and chariot archers, you can only have a max of 2 in a CWB army composition per army, per player. And this is interesting. He actually brought warhounds, which is typically not a standard practice. Maybe it's coming into a vogue though. Now, the cool thing about warhounds is they're very disruptive. You can't just target them with an enemy unit, because if you do, you're gonna be targeting the handlers and letting the dogs come to you. So that could cause surprise and shock to the Armenian army back there of Polykrates. But he has 4 units of the warhounds. And how many more cav units does he have? He has... The remainder are 6 headhunting maidens. And then for cav, it's just like the archer. You can have a max of 8 cav in your army. But you got the 6 of the same unit slot rule going. So you can have 6 headhunting maidens, and you can have 2 regular horse archers. But remember, for horse archers, you can only have 2 of those. So, but that does count towards your max of cav, so you can have 8 cav units altogether. Now let's go look at the Armenian army here of Polykrates of the Titans clan. Now I have heard of the Titans clan. I played several of them before in the past. So let's go look at his army composition. He knows he's playing against Scythia, and as an Armenian, you will know that the Scythian headhunting maidens could devour your cataphracts, because headhunting maidens are armor piercing with their little axes. So the way Polykrates is going to play it, he's going to go minimal on the cataphracts, only has 2 of them. The rest of his cav seems to be light cav. So we got Arab cav. So let's see, let's start with the cav since we're starting here now. 2 units of cataphracts, 3 units of Arab cav, and I guess 2 units of the horse archers. Again, only 2 horse archer max per army. And I am taking the time to explain some of these rules because a lot of my viewers are not CWB players, or they're not new, or they're not accustomed to a Rome Total War, so I gotta explain some of these rules. And I know a lot of clan players might get sick of that, because most clan players already, well, all clan players already know the rules. So let's see here. Now, this guy did go with a lot of infantry here. That could backfire against him, it might not, because usually you want to get a lot of archers to combat the enemy's archers. In this guy's case, he's going to go minimal on the archer game, it looks like. Well, not really. He does have the max here. We have 6 units of regular archers. I guess the theory here is this guy's going to trade missiles fire with the enemy Scythian archers, and at the end of it, both archers will be worn out, in which case this guy's going to have all these heavy spearmen to deal with, and that's going to be tough on Scythia if Scythia does not win the missile fight. So that is the situation here. So we got, yeah, 6 heavy spearmen. Alright, so let's get the battle started. And then with most CWB battles, you are going to start off with the skirmish phase. Again, the skirmish phase will be trading of missile fire between the archers and slingers, and then in between you're going to have cav strikes. You want to do your best to launch your cav at the enemy archers. Try to give your archers the edge in the skirmish phase. That's usually how it starts. Now, with a lot of my CWB battles, I like to cut down on that phase and just I tend to charge right in and minimize that phase. But, you know, there are times where I do play it safe and do exchange missile fire, protecting my archers with my cav, and launching my own cav strikes against the enemy archers when I can. But oftentimes I like to skip this phase and throw the other player off his game. But we're going to go here into an archer fight. Now, in this missile fight, because Scythia has 2 different types of archers in their roster, he can max out on the 8 max rule for CWB. But Armenia only has 1 unit of archer, and that's the regular archer here, so he can only get 6 units of archers max as Armenia. So that gives Scythia the advantage in this fight. Now, as Armenia, you want to make sure Scythia expends as much ammo as he can. I mean, you want to make sure that he loses a lot of ammo in this skirmish phase, and that you don't give away your fewer amount of archers to cav strikes. So as long as Scythia exhausts a lot of his missiles on these archers, then that will give Armenia a big advantage going into the endgame with all these heavy spears. But Armenia has to play the skirmish phase properly, otherwise he will get shot to death. So he's going to keep his archers as close to his spearmen as possible. Scythia is going to go down both wings here with his cav. And because I typically bypass this phase, you're actually going to see what a skirmish phase is supposed to look like. Because I tend to skip this. So we're going to have a horse archer fight over here on this side and also on the other side. Now when the horse archers go into a Cantabrian circle, they are very hard to hit with your foot units, with your foot missiles. So that's why a lot of times these guys are pretty standard in these CWB battles, because they will drain the enemy foot units of their missile supply. So we got a lot of cav movement from Scythia here. He's gonna slowly wrap around Armenia, it looks like. And by the way, this is a replay, but I have not watched this replay yet. This is a live commentary for the most part, since I haven't seen it yet. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Here come the enemy foot archers here. They're gonna trade fire. Let me see what kind of upgrades we have on these Archer warbands. They have, looks to be 6 upgrades on them, so that's probably gold. Whereas the Armenian archers also look to be gold. Now we got some Armenian horse archers coming up on the outside of this Scythian concentration of cav here. And this guy's gonna bring up his warhounds. I was curious about what he was gonna do with these warhounds. Because you don't want to launch them in the front of the heavy spears, because the heavy spears will just intercept them. But coming from an angle, the warhounds can be really annoying. Because again, you can't just target the warhounds. If you do that, you will be targeting the handlers here. And then that'll mess up your units. That said, they are still going to come right at heavy spears here. So the heavy spears shouldn't lose too many men. Granted, they were in loose formation, so some of these dogs are going to get in. But Polykrates is going to use his horse archers here to help hack down these dogs for these heavy spears. Heavy spears did lose quite a bit of troops over there, though, from dog units. So I do like the use of the warhounds there. And again, yeah, it's the exchange of missile fire in the skirmish phase, and then you can see a lot of cav movement from both players. Both players will jockey to either smite the enemy cav coming in, launch cav raids into the enemy archers. Well, these aren't archers, but you know, you get the drift there. So there's gonna be a lot of jockeying here for even the slightest advantage. And you can see on the replay counter, this battle is halfway over. And the only blinking flags I see are from Scythia. So Scythia has lost. Oh, sorry, Armenia's lost some of their horse archers here. But a lot of Scythian archers are dead, and we got some warhounds routing. Warhound handlers are not really important at this stage. But let's see, what did Scythia manage to rout? These horse archers. So Armenia is bereft of 2 horse archers. Scythia still has their horse archers. Now going into Canterbury Circle, it's obviously going to exhaust them. I sometimes like to take advantage of that by getting them to go into Canterbury Circle and then just charging at them with light cav, and then they'll be too tired to run away effectively. So we got some horse archers coming back. Now this is important. Whenever units come back, ideally you want to always pay attention to your unit cards. And when you see that they are back, you can bring them right back into combat. But you can see Polykrates does not see that, and he is losing them to some dogs here. Sometimes every little bit helps. Now, in a lot of these clan battles, you're going to see that, you know, both players are almost always of equal experience, so a lot of these battles will be a lot closer. Cheetah's wrapping around his horse archers behind Armenia, and it looks like there's some more warhound handlers getting routed. Again, these are just warhound handlers. They've already launched their dogs at this stage. It's not bad if he loses these handlers because they're not really important. But you know, you can still save them though. Save them for the final push. You know, use them for something. But again, he's already delivered some serious damage with his hound, so I think mission accomplished for the warhounds. I still would have preferred keeping these guys back in reserve and just use them as extra fodder instead of just, you know, launching them into a suicide mission. But you know, the temptation to do it is pretty great. I would probably do it too sometimes too, to be honest. Just launch them on a suicide mission. So again, the important thing here is for Armenia to keep as many spears as possible, because he has seemed to have lost a lot of his foot archers, which is bad for him, because even a few amount of Scythian horse archers would shoot this Armenian army to death, or at least weaken it greatly. And also preserve your cav. So Armenia, what's he called, Polykrates? He's preserved his cav pretty well, and he's preserved a lot of his spears well. Let's see what kind of damage I've taken. This one's taking some damage. This one's taking quite a bit of damage too. This one's taking a lot of damage. These guys are pretty healthy. This one's halfway down almost. This one's very healthy, 100%. He's gonna go for a strike here. I would not recommend that. You might hit these spears. he went for it anyways, and he did cause some damage to these Arab Cav. That was pretty risky. But he's got the micro to pull out, and he did cause some pretty good damage. And he's gonna countercharge. Oh, he actually routed those heavy spears. That was a very risky decision, but it paid off there. I'm surprised. And now he's gonna swarm this spear unit that's in loose formation, so they're not gonna be in the greatest shape here. But Armenia's gonna launch a counterattack with their Cav. But man, these guys just knocked out 2 blocks of spear. That is a huge loss for Armenia. I'm really surprised he went for that and got away with it. Very risky, but it paid off very well for Scythia. That was a really awesome attack there. So what kind of let me pause this. No, screw it. So we got 2, 3. I'm sorry, 3, 4 units of foot archers, maybe 5. It's about 5 units of foot archers for Scythia still. They have plenty of firepower to reduce these heavy spears to nothing. So Armenia is very much at a disadvantage at this stage. And he's gonna chase horse archers here. He's not gonna catch them. They're very tired. Oh yeah, maybe you could catch them. But every time you do that, you're risking getting caught by these swift-moving maidens here of Scythia. And he just knocked out some more spears. Armenia's in serious trouble. He just intercepted these Arab Cav. These maidens are gonna pounce. And Armenia's gonna let it happen, it looks like. Oh, he's gonna countercharge here, but it's too late. He did some pretty good damage. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna try to knock out these cataphracts, even though all these spears are nearby. Is he gonna get away with it? He has knocked out the Armenian commander, and here come the archers. They're gonna attack these spears from behind.
Attack! Attack!
Ooh, this is pretty exciting, and it looks like it's game over for Armenia here. Dang. That was awesome, guys. That was really awesome. Like, it got really awesome towards the end. So, obviously Armenia is gonna die, but he's gonna fight it out. Well, he's admitted defeat.
The cries of dying enemies are sweet music to our warriors.
Okay, that was an awesome battle. Like, it started off pretty standard, you know, with the skirmish phase. Scythia is slowly getting the upper hand in the skirmish. And then towards the end, man, Cheetah made some really awesome moves, you know, going for those units that were standing in front of the heavy spearmen of Armenia. Did not think he would get away with that, but he did. And it wasn't just once he did it, he did like 2 or 3 times. Very risky, I thought, but he totally pulled it off. That was an awesome battle, guys. Very awesome battle. Open this up. I wish there's a way you can see the exact army composition so that I can show you guys the exact compositions here. Maybe there's a way. I'm very happy with this battle, and I hope to see that the next batch of clan replays I'm getting will be just as good as this one. But the bar has been set very high by Cheetah. I love Polykrates' name. Very Greek. As you guys know, I'm a huge Philhellene. I love ancient Greek military history. Obviously, Alexander being my favorite. Anyways, yeah, I really dug this this battle, and this is a great way to open up my clan battles replay series. And tell me what you guys think. Did you guys like the battle? You know, I've had my differences with a lot of clan players in the past, but there's a lot of well-mannered clan players. So I always tell people not to do this, but I fall into this habit. You know, I get... my mood gets ruined by the bad apples of clans. But there's some really friendly clan players out there. And I'm still friends with quite a few of them. So, that said, you can always learn from watching other players play. And I like seeing this style from Cheetah, because, you know, he could have won it just by sitting back and shooting this guy to death. but he still pressed the attack, even though he didn't have to, and he scored big.